three strangers are on a collision course to a standoff against a sorceress covenant sent on freeing an ancient evil from its imprisonment. A sorcerer priest touched by a god with healing powers, a master swordsman who's the chosen sword of a goddess, and a master thief have no idea the roles they are destined to play in a dangerous sorcerer's endgame. This is Revenant Wins, the start of Mitchell Hogan's newest fantasy series, The Tainted Cabal. Hey, BookTube, Sean here. This is my review of The Tainted Cabal by Mitchell Hogan. I received this book from the author in exchange for an honest review. Okay, so this novel is told from three perspectives. The first perspective is of Nicholas, who is the chosen sword of the lady Sylvia Calicia. He's lived for thousands of years in service to the lady, and his main desire is to just be by her side forever, to achieve God status and live eternity with her. The second perspective is of Aldrich, a priest of the Church of Mencelas, who's been touched by the god Mencelas with healing powers, but he is looked down upon by the other members of his church because of his sorcerer's abilities. Sorcerer's abilities are seen as kind of unclean in this world. And the third perspective is of Curio, who has run away from a noble family, and she's now a master thief, and is on the run from a job gone wrong. And all three of these characters are being pulled together to face off against the Tainted Cabal, which is a sorcerer's covenant whose sole aim is to release the demon lord Nisrod from his ancient imprisonment. I loved this book. I really did. I don't have a ton of negative to say about it, honestly. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm big on character. I've mentioned this before in videos, that and it comes from my acting background. I love well-developed characters. I love character-driven stories. And I thought the character building in this was just extremely well done. The only character I wish might have been developed a little bit more, and we had more time with, was Curio. She doesn't get as many chapters as Aldrich and Nicholas do, so we don't get to know her as well, and I think I would have liked to learn more about her past, but this being the first book in a trilogy, there may be reasons for that not happening in this book, being a little bit sparse on the backstory. I previously read the prequel novella, which is called The Forgotten Tower, which I mentioned in a video before, which I really loved that too. And that focused on the character Nicholas. So I already went into this novel knowing the character Nicholas a little bit better than Curio and Aldrich. And Aldrich is almost seems like the primary of the three in this book. So you really get to know him well. And I just love the direction fantasy has taken into more character-driven pieces rather than quest-driven pieces, especially the last, say, 10 years or so that I've noticed. Just because, like I said, I just love character-driven stuff, and Mitchell Hogan is really good at the character-driven stuff. I've been reading his Sorcery Ascendant sequence, too, which I'm in the middle of book 2 on that. I don't talk about that on the channel a lot because that's just kind of a casual read for me. When I finish it, I'll mention it. But again, that trilogy is very character driven, less focused on, okay, here's the quest and let's go complete the quest. It's more following these characters through their journey. And Mitchell Hogan is really good at that. The magic system in this novel was, I thought, unique. It's based on day and night. Sorcerers have in them repositories of Dawntide and Dusttide sorcery, and the cants that they use attach to one or the other or both repositories depending on what is needed for the spell, and they have to use dusk and dawn to refill their repositories. It's just a really interesting system of magic, and it was really intriguing, and it didn't need a ton of explanation. either, so it didn't seem overwhelming to understand. I would have liked to seen a little bit more world building in it. Like I said, it's the first in a trilogy, so we may get more of that as the books to come. And I know that he has other books planned besides this trilogy set in this world. He's really putting a lot of focus into this world of Revenant Winds. So I think we're going to see a lot more world building from this. But like I said, I've been reading his Sorcery Ascendant sequence too. And other than the magic system and the gods and goddesses that are prevalent in this world, I really couldn't make too much of a distinction if the cities could have been in either world, as far as I could tell. But that may be just because I have read everything I've read of Mitchell Hogan's has been this year, so I have very current memories to focus on and compare to. But if you haven't read Sorcery Ascendant, and this is your first experience with Mitchell Hogan, and it'd be a great first experience with Mitchell Hogan, let me tell you, then just the goddess and goddesses and the sorcery, the magic system would be enough really to help build this world for you. Like I said, it's probably just because all of the novels of his I've read have been in this year. And I don't hear Mitchell, like I did a review of, and I don't know why I bring this up, I did a review of the first book of the Sorcery Ascendant sequence, The Crucible of Souls, very early in my booktube career. And it was, I thought, a horribly done review. I don't know why I don't delete that video. But it was my first time doing a video review, and really this is only my third, but excuse me, other than talking about books in my weekly wrap-ups and stuff. But I really enjoy Mitchell Hogan, and I wish I would see more of his stuff being talked about on BookTube. I think he deserves more attention than what I see that he gets. Like I said, I loved the prequel novella to this, The Forgotten Tower, too, so I really recommend that as well as this. This, I think, from what of his I've read, is his best book so far. Not having finished the Sorcery Ascendant sequence, I'll make that disclaimer. I may end up reading the third book of that and thinking that blows what Revenant Winds out of the water. Who knows? But right now, of what I've read, this is his crowning achievement, and I really encourage everyone to pick this up. It is not connected to the Sorcery Ascendant sequence. This is a brand new trilogy set in a new world that he is going to be spending a lot of time in. Other book series and standalones, I think, and novellas will be coming in this world. So he is putting a lot of focus on this world. I want to thank Mitchell Hogan again. I've thanked him profusely other places, but I want to thank him again for allowing me to preview this book. The pleasure was all mine, and I look forward to reading more of your stuff in the future. I'm happy that I get to stay on your ARC list, and thank you so much for allowing me to read a preview copy of this book and do reviews of it. That's it. That's my review for Revenant Winds by Mitchell Hogan. Go out and pick up a copy. I highly recommend this book. I don't really do star ratings, but on Goodreads I gave this a 5-star rating. That's just kind of how Goodreads and Amazon work. So I put the 5-star ratings up on there. I don't do star ratings personally because it's relative to the reader, honestly. But I loved this book, and I wish you all good reading, and I'll see you in my next video.